Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nur Adi Shohada and welcome to our group's presentation. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the material requirement planning.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Siti Nubalkis binti Kasim. How are you guys doing? Good? Okay, firstly, I am going to define the concept of material requirements planning, or the short form is MRP. MRP is a standard supply planning system to help businesses, primarily product-based manufacturers, understand inventory requirements while balancing its supply. It is an inventory management that is completely operated digitally through a wide variety of computer-based platforms. MRP is exclusively designed to improve the inventory efficiency of a business by estimating quantities of raw material and scheduling timely deliveries. Businesses use MRP system to efficiently manage inventory, schedule a production, and deliver the right product on time at optimal cost. Alright, let's moving on to the objectives of material requirements planning. When it comes to the MRP inventory management system, there are three primary objectives that the software seeks to provide. Firstly, MRP can use to ensure the raw materials are readily available for production and products are readily available for delivery to consumers. Secondly, it is to sustain the lowest raw materials and finished product levels in store. And the last one, it is to organize manufacturing, delivery schedules, and purchasing activities. Are you guys curious about how MRP first introduced? Okay, let me explain. Material requirements planning was the earliest of the integrated information technology or IT systems that aim to improve productivity for businesses by using computers and software technology. Before computer engineered system became prevalent in the business world, inventory was recorded by hand. As time went on, users become aware of how inefficient hand-kept inventory was. It leads creating demand in the market for the most productive method. In the early 1950s, MRP was first computerized by aero engine makers associated with General Electric and Rolls-Royce. Before MRP became commercialized, it was reinvented to use the Polaris program. In 1964, MRP was released to specific individual businesses being used by Black & Decker. By 1975, over 700 companies had implemented MRP as their inventory management system. Since 1975, the MRP system has been continuously updated to be more efficient for businesses, including several different models. Today, MRP is one of the most common and widely used inventory management systems in the world.
Thank you, Siti Nubalkis. Alright, now I present to you the reason why MRP system is popularly adopted by corporations. So first, it helps in managing inventory level. So MRP enables inventory managers to be able to reduce the level of component parts and raw materials inventory. MRP system works backward from production scheduling, in which it determines the amount of inventory needed to meet overall production demand. As inventory associated costs are one of the highest incurred in manufacturing, MRP allows manufacturing operation to effectively manage their inventory level and reduce the costs. Second, it helps corporation in purchasing planning. This portion of the software pertains to what inventory is needed in order to meet the demand. Any information pertaining to how much material is needed in order to meet product demand will help managers to plan for any future facilities expansion. By planning your materials and inventory based on your actual demand, you will know exactly the amount of materials you need to store. Other than that, MRP helps in production planning. The production of finished goods is dependent on the availability of raw materials and component parts. MRP is used to ensure that enough materials are produced or purchased based on the availability quantity on hand. In cases where there is a shortage in inventory, production managers can shift production to items that have enough materials on hand to begin. Besides, MRP assists corporation in work scheduling. MRP systems are able to provide a concise visual representation of inventory that is available for the production process. If there is not enough inventory available for produced materials and components, MRP will generate production orders. Managers can then use this information to schedule labor to meet the needs of the overall process without overstaffing the production line. Besides, by using MRP, production orders may be scheduled based upon current customer orders or inventory levels, thus accommodating both make-to-order and make-to-stock procedures. MRP also can include product forecasts, which may be calculated automatically using data from sales or production history. Next, MRP help improve customer service by reducing costs that would typically be used to hold excess inventory and ensuring that materials will be available on time for production. MRP will help manufacturing facilities to improve their customer satisfaction. Customers are more likely to purchase again from a vendor when they receive a product of high quality in a timely manner. And last but not least, using MRP system saves time. Having an integrated production planning and scheduling system can perform MRP will save time. MRP systems are automated, which means that the system will generate production orders or purchase orders based on the inventory levels to supply demand. In addition, all team members have access to the latest data in real time, which eliminates the time wasted updating each other on changes made to the production. Therefore, from here, we can see that without this insight, companies have limited visibility and responsiveness, which can lead to ordering too much inventory. This which increase carrying costs and ties up more cash in inventory overhead that could be used elsewhere. It also causes an inability to meet demand because of insufficient raw materials, resulting in lost sales, cancelled contracts, and out of stocks. And it also can cause disruptions in the production cycle, delaying sub-assembly builds that result in increased production costs and decreased output. I hope you guys are still with me. Now, we move on to the usefulness and benefits of using this MRP system. So firstly, MRP system help to maintain low inventory level to avoid overstocking. Secondly, it help in reduction of associated costs through material planning. This is as a result from optimum inventory level, as I said just now from point number 1. So overstocking may cause companies to bear handling and carrying costs. And thirdly, it ensures capacity utilization as it helps managers to control hourly operation, equipment and labor tasks, and even accurately predict labor time and operational costs. And fourthly, it extensively tracks every piece of inventory that goes in and goes out, and it reduces cost of warehousing product. It also increases organization throughout the business. Business will experience a smooth and well-organized operation. And the last one is the system will ensure scheduled shipment and delivery of the product. This is to avoid delay and cause customers dissatisfaction. In every set of good, there is always a piece of bad. So now we have come to the limitation and downside of this MRP system. So firstly, reliance on the precise input information. So if information is not correctly collected and recorded, it will interrupt the whole system accuracy. And this will cause scheduling delays, wrong order quantities, and inefficient tracking if the information is inputted inaccurately. So next, it requires extensive maintenance of robust databases. And fourthly, in order to use the system, proper training is required. A considerable amount of intensive training is required. In fact, even though end users are usually trained on a limited amount of functionality, key users need to acquire considerable technical competence. The challenges are that some users might refuse to go to training. Next, the system is not cheap and requires a substantial capital investment. For instance, the software is sold by a website called Mr. MRP-easy for USD 99 per user per month. As we can see from this slide, this is the price for MRP system that can be bought by organizations. So this is the price for per user and per month.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Sofia Adlina binti Roslan, and I will continue to present steps involved in order to implement the technique. Okay, we will start with data needed for MRP system. Okay, there are 6 data needed for MRP system, which is firstly is an item. For an item, the MRP system requires the users to describe what type of product is being created and its specific demand level. Okay, now we will proceed with second data needed, which is quantity. For the quantity, the system requires the users to input the amount of quantity needed to meet specific demand schedules. Okay, next, the other data needed is shelf life. For shelf life, the amount of time that a product is able to remain in the warehouse is required for the planning aspect of an MRP system. Now, we will proceed with inventory record. For inventory record, the record of material is available for use and work in progress, and it is completed. And then planning data. For planning data, restraint and direction, such as labor, machine standards, testing technique, and commands are required to use the MRP system. Lastly, which is bills of material. For bills of materials, the system requires detailed account of materials and components used to make each of the product.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Kamilia binti Zuraini. There are 4 main steps involved in the material requirement planning system. The first step is identify requirements such as raw materials needed to meet the demand. Demands are expected through past sales transactions and the customer orders. Next, MRP would help in checking the inventory and allocate the resources to meet the demands. Thirdly, the third step is it helps in scheduling production based on the amounts of inventory counted in step 2 previously. And lastly, MRP will identify issues that arises in the production and makes recommendations for improvement. So our group has chosen the case study made on Alenia Aircraft regarding the material requirement planning system. Alenia Aircraft is an Italian leading firm in the aircraft industry that manages about 10,000 different parts and components by means of the MRP system. So how does the MRP works in the day-to-day business of Alenia Aircraft? The material requirement planning system helps Alenia Aircraft in reducing the cost of work in process, raw materials, and component stocks. Thus, it improves the cost efficiency that was borne by Alenia Aircraft. Next, MRP helps the company to achieve greater flexibility, responding more effectively to the changes required by demand and also technological innovations. By looking at the case study of Alenia Aircraft, we can see that MRP has proven that it helps to improve the company's cost and time performance by showing great increase in the supply frequency rate, as well as reducing working capital related to both work in process and raw material, as well as component inventory as a whole. Besides that, MRP has also shown great flexibility in managing the changes introduced by the leading firms.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will proceed with suggestions for improvement on the technique used. Based on the case study, we have some suggestions for improvement on the MRP system by Alenia Aircraft, which is focused on data accuracy and understanding the capacity of the business. Firstly, the company can improve the MRP system by focusing on data accuracy. The MRP system will be able to generate accurate report by collecting detailed data from the start. The MRP system need to be understood by all employees in the organizations to ensure its effectiveness. As a result, bad data collection can be avoided as the company provide accurate report right away. Therefore, the new direction employees will have their direction as the company has a good start. For instance, Alenia Aircraft used the MRP system to identify the required materials, cost needed, and communicate it to the subcontractors. It shows that data information of the production is very crucial to the company. So therefore, the company needs to focus on data accuracy as it is one of the processes to improve the MRP system. Next, the company can improve the MRP system by understanding the capacity of the business. It is very important for companies to recognize the production limits at their workplace. The system should create a production budget and schedule based on some factors such as employee schedules and wages, current supply and demand. It needs to be explained in detail to ensure it is in line with the productions, and it is to avoid any problem that can affect the whole organizations. And these suggestions can be used in the case of the firm Alpha, which is the subcontractors of Alenia Aircraft. There are some issues that occur while adopting the MRP system. It caused an increase in cost in management and service activity of Alenia Aircraft, which is pursued a cost efficiency strategy. Due to that, it resulted in an issue in which the subcontractor had to accept a reduction of about 30% in their own remunerations.